What's going on, everybody? The original Mako back with another Shark Scale video, and it has been a while since we've done one of these because I actually have not finished an anime until just a couple of days ago. It took me a while to get through Black Clover. Between a couple of filler stretches where it was hard to watch a lot of them in a row, and just general life stuff, a lot of things changing with my life, such as the new job, graduating, getting a new job. There's a lot of big stuff that happened. So I wasn't able to watch as much as I would have liked, but we have finished it, and now we're going to talk about it. There, just like with the other Shark Scale videos, there may be some spoilers. I'm going to try to avoid them, but there might be some, so I'm giving you a warning ahead of time that there may be some spoilers. But regardless, let's go ahead and talk about Black Clover a little bit. Now, we're doing this in a weird way. The rest of them going forward won't be like this, but this one will, just because I already put in all the numbers and already moved it to the spot on the list, but I don't want to spoil where it is on the list, where the ranking is. So I zoomed way in. I hid the number that it's ranked at, but we're just going to be going through each item one at a time to get us to our number here. Anyway, so as per usual, we'll rank it with different categories, and then we will sort of give it a total ranking based on all those categories at the end. But first up, we have C, which are the characters, and I am giving the characters a 90. A 90 for Black Clover out of 100. These are all out of 100. So for the characters, I feel like they do a really good job. It's very now it's very Naruto-esque in terms of the characters are very motivational. They're very, try to teach you different lessons. They try to really inspire and motivate you, which they do. I personally found multiple of Asta's speeches to be quite invigorating and motivating. But there's also, really cool characters as well. Like, my two favorite characters, neither of which are the main characters. My two favorites are Yami and Mayor Leona. And they do such a good job of giving them just insanely badass moves, fights, scenes, mannerisms. Everything is amazing. And there are some characters that feel like they could have done some more. They feel kind of throwaway-ish. But I have to keep in mind, this isn't Naruto. They don't have time to go in depth for every single character. It's just not that long of a show. So, but I really enjoyed the characters overall. I felt like most of them were very entertaining to watch. Fun to watch the fights, see their moves. They're all very unique and interesting in their own way. So that's why I am giving the characters a 90. Next up on our list, we have the story. Now, the story, I'm giving it a 74. And here's why. I think, obviously, it's not finished. So once it finishes, I think it has a lot more potential. But it was it was relatively generic the whole time, kind of very standard, straightforward, nothing too, no super crazy twists and turns. I will say the elf arc probably had the biggest one, but even that one wasn't super crazy of a twist. The final arc, the Spade Kingdom arc, felt very... I'm interested in the story, more so for Asta's own personal story that he's kind of going through. But the overall story seemed very, obviously in every show, you've got your plot armor, you've got your plot points that you see coming from a mile away or whatever. But this one was so the Spade Kingdom just so happened to need the exact two magic types that Yami and the Captain of the Golden Dawn have. That's so specific, and the fact that they needed those two specifically and only those two was just really, I feel like they really could have been a little more creative with what they were doing, trying to kidnap those two. But anyway, I didn't think it was anything crazy, but it was fun. It was entertaining. It wasn't, if 70 is an average, then it was a little above average, but a relatively average story, which is totally fine. Next up on our list, we have the world as a whole, just the world building. What is it like? What are the powers, the everything about the world. I really enjoy Black Clover's world. I'm a big fan of the different the factions in the show with the Magic Knight squads. And they've all got their own captain. They've all got their own vice captain. They've all got, a little bit of pride in themselves, and they kind of fight with the others. Well, they compete against the other squads in different ways. I think that is a really, really interesting way to do it. I think the grimoire system is cool. I enjoy it. The whole everybody gets their grimoire at whatever age it was, and they get chosen by the grimoire, I think is really interesting. And the way that, every time you acquire a new spell, it sort of just goes into your grimoire permanently is also kind of cool. So I like the systems. I like how it works. I like how it flows. It makes a lot of sense. It works well, and I think it was a great world to be a part of. And as with most longer anime, it does have an advantage because it has a longer time to build the world. But yeah, anyways, 86 for world. Next up, we have music, and this is the whole score. It's intros, outros, and like fight music, action music, any type of sounds that are going. Well, not any sound, but any sort of track that is playing. The whole OST, the whole score. It's you'd be hard pressed to find a show that's got better intros. Like a overall better intros as a whole than Black Clover. The intros are insane. It has a couple of really good outros. The action music as a whole is really good and exciting. But the reason this is so high is mainly because of the intros. It obviously has Black Catcher, which personally is number 1 or number 2 best intro in any anime that I've seen so far. Right up there with Domestic Girlfriend. But it's got a couple of other really, really good ones, a couple of really good outros, and it's just the music as a whole it was very good. It was fun to listen to. I was headbanging, having a good time. The music slapped in the show. So 94. Next, we have the animation. The animation was nothing too special. Once again, if 70 is like average, it was a little above average. The fight scenes were well animated. There was a good choreography for most of the fights, but it wasn't flashy by any means. There wasn't anything super flashy or crazy going on. Obviously, the benchmark is like Demon Slayer or Fate. But even like a show like Attack on Titan, it might not have all the super bright stuff, but it's got really good animations on the Titans, and this show didn't have anything that like blew me away. It had good, solid fight scene animations, good choreography, but it wasn't anything special. Now, I will say the movie, the movie that just came out, which I did watch, definitely it was another step up in the animation. It was a lot more bright. Still not nearly as flashy as like a Demon Slayer or whatever, but the movie on its own, probably like mid 80s for the animation. But the show on its own is probably like a 72-ish. So we're kind of meeting in the middle here at a 79 when you're combining everything. So I'm going to give the animation a 79. And I believe the last category here is my overall enjoyment. We got to be a little bit biased here and throw in some of our own personal feelings because I feel like it's necessary when you're rating a show. 80. Right now, an 80. Once again, it's not over. It's not done. Most shows, my overall enjoyment can either peak at the end if it's a good ending, or it can bomb at the end if it's a bad ending. Case in point, Hunter x Hunter went down in the drain because of the ending. And a show like, I can't even think of it. Code Geass spikes it. It actually probably doubled what my overall enjoyment was going to be for Code Geass just because of the ending. So because Black Clover hasn't ended yet, if this absolutely has potential to go up in the future. But right now it's an 80. Once again, 70 would be, that was good. That was average, right? I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was average. This is a little above that. I liked it a lot. It was good. I felt like, once again, Asta was a character that was very motivational, which is nice. It's always nice to have a little extra of that in your life. And it had a story that I'm interested in seeing where it goes still. It had great music. It had good enough animations and choreography. Once again, this story didn't have too many twists, turns, and like brain melting, oh my god moments. But it was definitely more than average enjoyable for me. So in terms of where this puts us total, it puts us at a total, oh, well, there we go, everybody. It puts us at a total of 83 out of 100, which is going to put it at 28th on our list. 28th, we'll go back down to normal size here, and we will bring back that. With an 83.8 out of 100. So yeah, I think it was a great show. Once again, case in point, Hunter x Hunter. This would have been probably a 94, 95 before the Chimera Ant arc. Fuck. But 83.8. Once again, it was a great show. I think as it finishes, it could definitely jump up into the high 80s. I don't really see this breaking the 90 benchmark, but I guess that really just depends on where the story goes from here. So that's it for Black Clover, the Shark Scale. Let me know your thoughts if you've watched it. Once again, I'm excited to keep doing these. Also, for some reason, the format is going to be a little weird, probably, because for some reason, when I was trying to add this one, it's got a weird gap here that I cannot for the life of me figure out how to fix this little gap. So there's just going to be a gap in the rest of them from here on out. But anyways, that's it for me. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. I love each and every one of your faces, and I'll catch you all in the next video.